Merry meet, Annie here. Did you check out the topic of this video? It's something I probably thought would never be associated with my name, but yes, Annie is on Patreon. I'm sharing this with you with a lot of excitement. Well, eagerness, a little bit of hesitation, jumping into something new. It kind of reminds me of back when I did bring Season of the Seeker to a new way of presenting an online class, hours and hours, over a year-long time. Well, that worked out fairly well, and I was hesitant to try that because it felt different, and now I'm trying something else that's different. I want to start off my discussion over my new venture on Patreon by telling you I'm not leaving YouTube. My videos are going to stay here. I'll be making an equal number of new videos, all with comments enabled, so that those of you who don't have any desire to drift towards Patreon, even to see the free, the public videos, will still be able to be, well, part of my wider community. So don't worry, nothing about that is changing. But I'm going to broaden my experience online. Kind of an old witch learning new tricks, and I'm very excited about this. I've been wanting to experiment in that new-to-me environment at Patreon. Oh, I've been a patron to a few people over the years when the budget allowed it. I liked what I found there. I found what felt like a more intimate environment, a more directed and focused environment. Just a chance to be, I felt, with even more like minds in community. My Patreon account is going to have a lot of public videos. All the videos from YouTube are going to be there, and in fact, added to them is going to be, as I mentioned in my last video, all the blogs that lead up to a video are going to be shared as a document on Patreon. One reason is some people prefer to read rather than watch. It's a lot quicker for most of us. Honestly, I prefer to read over watch. It's just a matter of time. So the full blog is going to be posted, the full journal for each video that I do on a topic is going to be posted on Patreon along with the video. They're going to be public. There's going to be other things that are public too. Some things that I won't post here, just so Patreon publicly has some content unique to it. So you can enjoy Patreon without paying a penny. It doesn't have to be about that. But I do have 2 tiers set up on my Patreon account. I know the first thing you might be wondering about is cost. Tier 1, and I'll explain the tiers, which is the Season of the Seeker program, has a suggested donation of $5 per month, but I've set it up on Patreon $1 a month. That's so those who can donate the $5 can, and those who need to donate substantially less can donate down as low as $1. Tier 2, which is Season of the Dedicant, which I will explain in a moment, is priced at $10, and I've done the same thing with that. It's actually, well, a suggested donation of $10, it's listed for $5. So those who can donate the $10 can consider that, and those who find that a challenge can donate as low as $5, as you can see. I've been giving some thought to all of our budgets because I have a challenging one, and I know a lot of you do too. Tier 1 is Season of the Seeker. Season of the Seeker is a slightly more than year-long study program intended as a foundation program for those seeking to explore contemporary paganism and personal practice from the Wiccan perspective. Well, that's a mouthful, isn't it? Season of the Seeker, in a year's time, works through exploration of the elements of air, fire, water, and earth, and its goal is deeper understanding of the elements in nature and in ourselves. Along the way, opportunities are offered to consider how this work aligns with our concept of deity and the greater meaning, purpose of our lives. The program is one of elemental balancing, with the goal of integrating the elements around us and within us. You can learn more about Season of the Seeker, and you can even read some testimonials about those who've been through the program. I'll give you that link in just a bit. Tier 2 is Season of the Dedicant. Season of the Dedicant is a journey through the Wheel of the Year for those seeking to explore contemporary paganism and personal practice from the Wiccan perspective. Again, that phrase. I will regularly upload videos regarding Sabbats and Esbats, the solar and lunar celebrations of the Wiccan year, with videos, posts, prompts, and discussions throughout the length of each Sabbat and around each of the Esbats. Participants will be encouraged to share from their own perspective, to learn from each other, and to deepen their relationship to the turning of the seasons and the lunar tide. This will be an opportunity for new practitioners to explore who they are within the year and discover and deepen their relationship with seasonal deities. Seasoned practitioners will have the opportunity to re-engage with their passions and consider their own relationship to the seasons of sun and moon. Tier 2 patrons, by the way, automatically get all the benefits of Season of the Seeker and Tier 1 as part of their donation. I'll probably never do a Tier 3. Lots of content creators on Patreon have a hierarchy, a level of things that they offer, each one getting more expensive. I don't think I'm ever going to go to a Tier 3. I think Tier 2 at $10 is as high as I'm ever going to want to go. When I decide to add new and different content for patrons, it's going to eventually get added right into Tier 2. So, there are other ways to engage with Season of the Seeker, and I cannot leave this video without mentioning to you, because Patreon is certainly not a fit for all of us for lots of reasons. If you go to my website, that link is below, you can click on the Season of the Seeker tab, and you can read about the various options for Season of the Seeker outside of Patreon. There's an independent Seeker program, there's a one-on-one program, and there is a program for groups, because I had the pleasure, while I was doing Season of the Seeker years ago, to have several groups come to me, that circles that were practicing, for instance, covens. One was a group of friends who wanted to experience it together. I've come up with a way to do that too. So if you want to know more about Season of the Seeker in general, you can find that information at the Greystone Path. And if you want to consider joining Patreon, whether it's just to see the public posts I'm going to be putting there, or consider joining the Season of the Seeker tier there, or the Season of the Dedicant tier, the link to my Patreon page is in the text box below. I hope this offering is welcome to some of you, and I want to reassure those of you who, well, you've seen some of us who disappeared into the world of Patreon and other non-YouTube means of community. I don't intend on doing that. You all mean too much for me here. You've been with me for a long time. I've enjoyed coming back, and I'm looking forward to what we continue to do together here. I'm looking forward to the public posts that I'm going to make on my Patreon page. And gotta admit, I am so excited about the rebirth of Seeker and the possibilities of Season of the Dedicant, which has been something that I've been wanting to do since, well, in the middle of my first go-round. Oh, it's been years ago now with Season of the Seeker. I knew the next step was going to be Season of the Dedicant, and that the one after that was going to be Season of the Sovereign. Well, we're nowhere near Season of the Sovereign yet in my plans, but I'm so happy to be re-engaging with Season of the Seeker and beginning Season of the Dedicant. If you have questions on these, you can reach me via the Contact tab on the Greystone Path website. I'm looking forward to see what this next new part of my life's journey brings to me in the way of opportunity and deeper commitment in the name of the Goddess to those I have chosen to serve. I wish you all mirth and reverence, merry part.